Hollywood. I see you, Hollywood, out there doing your little acting thing. I see that. What's going on with that?
Uh, Man, that's something that I'm passionate about. Also, the martial arts is my main thing, but acting is also a passion. Like I did theater, in school in Brazil as a kid, and
Okay.
did plays and that, and then kind of got away from it, and then over here I decided I wanted to do it again, and so I kind of have it as a hobby in a way, and then I had the opportunity to play that role in the film for the TV series, and then played a couple of different roles. And yeah, that's I'm just doing my passion.
Man, that's phenomenal, man. I love it, man. I love that you have something else that you're doing outside of fighting, which you're passionate about, man. It's all that's what it's about, man. That chasing what you want to do, man. Being free, basically, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because we're all here in this journey. Really, we don't know why,
Mm.
so we try to figure out, do it the best we can. Without like with trying to help as many other people as we can in a way, without in a way like doing what you do without harming others, and trying to improve other people's lives in the process, if that makes sense. And that's me. Like anything I do, I try to have fun while doing it. If I'm not having fun, I'm not going to do it. So that's really my mantra. I try to have enjoy my life, and do the best I can to the best of my abilities, and have fun with great people.
Yeah, getting back, into acting. You mentioned earlier that you were talking about you did some theater when you were younger and stuff. Getting back into that, and jumping in head first because most people they don't jump into going on TV shows and doing short films. They kind of work themselves up to doing things like that. Was it
Right.
a difficult process of getting into acting again?
It is always challenging, man. It's something else to try to act normal in front of a camera when there's like all these people around, and now you got to create and bring this character to life, to then try to sell you this image. You, the viewer watching, you don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but like as the actor on set, you got to try to hide all these things, kind of tune off the cameras, the sound people, everybody. There's so many people involved, and now to go in there and just try to act normal, it is very challenging. But for me, it was like I don't mind. Like I love being in front of the camera. I love being the center of attention. I don't seek it out, but it's natural to me. I enjoy it, and so I like to role play a lot. I play a lot with my nieces and nephews. Like whenever I go over and see them, I always, because I don't spend a whole lot of time with them. So when I go see them, I don't want to just be there and just talk. I want to do something fun with them. I want to try to create an experience with them. So I always try to like role play because it's fun, because they're kids, so they will go with it. And so you know, because we're family, we have this the same energy. So they like one of my nieces, she loves it when I come over and I say, hey, let's role play this thing that I have in mind, or whether it be a song that we like lip sync to, and we would like do a little video. She loves that. Every kid these days that are on YouTube, they're watching other kids do other things, and they are fascinated by it. So to be able to create their own content, and have fun with their uncle, it's amazing, and they enjoy it. And so to me, that brings me joy. So I don't mind that. I have fun doing it. So going back to your question, I was, like I said, I'm just having fun. Like I don't need this thing. I'm not pursuing acting as a career per se. I'm having fun with it. And so when the role came to audition for, I prepared. I had the time, and I said, I fit the description. Why not? So I, auditioned for it, and they loved it. So I got the part. So that tells me, when the casting director gets back to your agent saying, hey, we love him, we want to cast him, is he available at such and such date? That tells me that I'm ready. That doesn't say he's we love. So if somebody that is producing the show and they see you and they have in their mind this picture that they want to have for the character, and they see you audition for it and they say, we love him, he's the guy, that tells me I tick all the boxes. So that gives me confidence. I was already confident in the audition, um, but then when they say that, that just kind of elevates everything. So in my mind, it was like, dude, I'm made for this. I'm gonna go in and do what they have brought me here to do because they have been trusting me. So, and I went in and I, knocked it out the park. They loved it.
Yeah, and it's crazy. You went from like actually fighting, and in that short film, you were pretend fighting. So was it hard pretending to fight? Because you just said that you do a lot of role playing, but was it like in front of everybody?
It was because in that short film, that was interesting because what I actually wanted to do the most is um, with acting is portray do fighting films, right? It's like I'm sure every fighter out there, are passionate and love Van Damme movies. When they watch, Bruce Lee stuff and they see all that stuff and it looks real. So to be a fighter in real life and have the actual skills, and then to go in front of the camera and be able to bring that to life and sell it to people as it being real, but not really. So there's a lot of practice that goes into it. So it's like rehearsal. You got to go in early. And in that little short film, I'm sure you've seen it because you've done your homework. And it is only like a 2-minute film, but it took over a week to shoot. You know what I'm saying? To come together to that little 2-minute short film. So a lot of work goes into it, a lot of people involved, and a lot of rehearsal. So to me, it like I said, it kind of took because with fighting, real fighting, preparing for it is real. It's coming. You got a date, you got an opponent, you prepare for it. It's like daily grind, 2-3 times a day. You're just grinding. It can be, it wears on you. With preparing for a film that requires fighting scenes, it's a different kind of grind because now it's not so much like physical. You're not getting battered and bruised. You don't really have to really fight someone. But then it's like trying to bring this character to life, trying to like by reading the character's description, try to. So it's a lot more rehearsal. It's a lot more thinking. It's a lot more reading script. It's a lot more, trying to like connect with your, cast members because you are all involved in trying to bring this story to life. So it's not so much, although MMA, fighting sports itself, it's not. It is individual. Excuse me. It is individual, but it isn't. It is because when you prepare, you need your teammates, you need everybody to come together to show up every day, to put their bodies on the line and commit to that time, and then help you prepare, etc. And then when you go in the cage, then you're on your own. But with filming, it's everybody together at the same time. It's like at all times, unless you're at home doing your own homework, reading your scripts or whatever. But still, it's like you gotta be every little thing that you do. You gotta be thinking about your cast member if you're connecting to them, if you have lines and things like that. But with play fighting, it's like it was a lot of rehearsal to like be like, all right, because we had a choreography, right? So we had the choreographer. We went in a few days earlier. We were like drilling this thing. It's like, all right, so I want these combinations. So you're gonna step at this moment, and you're gonna slip the jab, and you're gonna throw a right hand, and you're gonna go under, and then come up with a 2-3 body shot. And that's where he's gonna fall. So then you got to practice the fall, and the fall has got to look real, obviously. So then it's like, all right, let's bring the crash mat, and then you boom turn at this moment, so you can't turn too early. And so it's like a lot of rehearsal. It's like you mess up, it's like, all right, let's do it again. It's like let's do it again. So you got to get that time. For me, it felt really cool. Like it was fun to bring this thing to life and to make it look, real. Being my first time doing it, fake fighting, it was fun because I had a really good partner. The lead. He was, had some experience in fighting as well. So it was really cool because the choreographer had fighting experience. So he came up with the choreography. The lead dude that I was on the scene with, he had fighting experience. I had fighting experience, and we both had acting experience. So that made for a very like natural transition, and we didn't really like hesitate on anything. Really, nothing felt like, oh, would this happen? Because when somebody doesn't know how to fight, if they never fought, if never trained, and you say, hey, this is kind of like you flinch all the time. Like I can't remember to the first time I started training boxing and stuff. Whenever a punch came at me, I'll be like, dude, flinch, like, I don't want this thing to hit my face. But when you've trained, it's like you're not gonna hurt, especially when you're wearing like 16-ounce boxing gloves. It's like, yeah, you can take that thing to the forehead. It's like, be playful. It's not gonna hurt. It's fine. So it's like it felt very natural, and it really showed in the movie. And the director and the producers, everybody was happy. So that was a really fun thing.
Now we go from play fighting or acting fighting to real fighting. UFC 243, Israel Adesanya versus Robert Whittaker, the biggest fight probably in the history of the region for MMA. A lot of people in Australia thought Whittaker was going to easily beat Izzy.
Mm.
Were you shocked by the result?
I was not shocked. I did have Israel winning that fight. I did not pick it to be a second round knockout though. That surprised me because and being a fan of both guys, I just hoped that it was going to be something like Israel Adesanya versus Kelvin Gastelum all over again. Because that's, being a fan, you anticipate the fight so much. You don't want it to end so soon and so short like it did. So I was hoping for a Kevin Gastelum, too. But I was watching, watch the countdown, watch all the training and stuff. And Whittaker was looking really good, man. It was just a matter of, in my opinion, Israel just is such a master of picking distance and timing and the shots. And when you have Robert Whittaker, who is so fast and explosive, light on his toes, but he's from the outside, and all of a sudden he hops in and boom, 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 delivers strikes. I think that was his kryptonite because Israel was timing him. So he was on the outside doing his movement, doing his thing, and then Whittaker is moving on the outside, and all of a sudden he jumps into Israel's range, and that's where he got caught. So Israel was able to read that and then make the moves and make the reads, make the timing, and then he picked the shots. And early, Whittaker was landing. He was getting him with the shots and hurting him a little bit. But like I said, anything in this crazy sport can happen, right? Anyone can win at any given night and time, no matter skill level. When you have bones flying around in the cage, one of them lands on your goddamn temple, you're done. No matter how skilled you are, no matter if on paper you're like, undefeated, this or that, it does not matter. So anything could have happened in that fight, right? So Whittaker was landing early. He could have landed and maybe knocked Israel out. And then people would be like, oh, I told you so, blah, 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 blah. But when it comes to technicality and skill and just overall stand-up game, there's no one like him at the moment. No one like Israel Adesanya. So, and that's what we saw. And man, that was beautiful. And I hope we get to see it again. I hope Whittaker gets another fight soon and gets a win, and then we see a rematch soon. I think we'll be seeing a different fight.
I completely agree. It's going to be a fight that we will see again, and maybe we'll see 3 times or 4 times because these guys are still young in the game. So it's going to be entertaining for everybody to watch. Now, you've been out of action for around 7 months now. Did you have an injury that you were getting over? Did I see that?
Yeah, it was a little niggle. Excuse me. It was a little niggle in my knee, but nothing crazy. It was just something that every time I tried to push, it would bother. It would swell up a little bit, and then I just couldn't shake it off. And then tried to book a fight, and then ramped up the intensity of the training, and then it would set me back. I couldn't, put a whole lot of weight on the leg. It felt. We couldn't really identify the issue, really. When I went to see doctors, they would do x-rays, things like that. They'd be like, oh, there's no broken bones, ligaments are fine, this and that. And so it was just something that I've had all my life. Excuse me. It's a condition that develops throughout as you're growing up. It's called Osgood-Schlatters. It's I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but it's freaking annoying. It's basically like an overgrown bone that I have just kind of like at the front of the patella of my kneecap. And this thing is just absurd. Let me see if I can show it to you to gross you out a little bit so you understand.
Oh, for real, you
So,
can see it.
can you see this pointy
Oh
bit?
yeah, 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 yeah,
See, so my knee is right here, right?
yeah.
It's not solid, whatever. But this thing just grew out, and I've had it all my life, literally, and it's never like bothered me with fighting or training or doing anything. But after my last fight, it started bothering me, and it would swell up every now and then. So it wouldn't. I could still train somewhat, but then at days that it was really intense, couldn't walk the next day, and then it would just like set me back. So I made the decision not to fight until I had the issue sorted. Um, basically, they explained that this condition is like as you growing up and you're very active, if you do a lot of sports, running, anything sports related, jumping, all this stuff, and you still in development, like your bones, muscles, ligaments, all this stuff, this thing starts growing that way, I guess. And to kind of counteract that, you have to pull back from the activity. You have to stretch. You have to massage. Growing up in Brazil, I didn't know nothing about that, man, and we couldn't afford nothing like that. So all my mom did was like, "Mom, my knee hurts." She was like, "All right." Took us to the doctor. They did an X-ray. They were like, "No broken bones. You're fine." So that's all they told me. So I kept doing my activities, and now having reached adulthood, this thing will not go away. So I, have to live with it. So I was pursuing surgery to try to see if I could, shave this thing off. Maybe, in my mind, it was like, well, if I have surgery, shave this thing off, then, you remove the issue. But it's a lot more complicated than that. There's tendons that run right over it. There's more complications with doing surgery than not doing it. So we managed it through physiotherapy. So basically, I had to really stay on top of my stretching, stay on top of, which I already was, but it was just next level, right? Because of this conditioning that I have. And because of the nature of the sport that we do, constant grappling, rubbing against the knees, bumps and bruises, and then the constant bump, bump, bump. That's what was causing it to swell up and aggravate. So basically, I got a custom made knee pad, so I got to wear that to train whenever I go on my knee, things like that. That takes away that impact. And through physiotherapy, I was able to strengthen everything around it, quads and glutes and calves. So loosen everything up. After every session, I got to foam roll for at least 20 minutes. It's very boring and annoying, but it's what kept me it's what was allowed me to regain my strength and not have that issue anymore. So that's basically what it was. Really, it was not an injury, but it was something that could turn into something bigger if I didn't address it. So that's why I couldn't. Like the fighter in me wanted to just go, well, whatever, fuck it, we'll just go in and fight. Because there's always that mentality that you never 100% when you step in the cage. But it's not smart if I want longevity, right? If I want to stay in this thing long term, if I want to be healthy after the sport, etc. So, and I am an athlete and a martial artist first before I'm a fighter. So I'm not like a meathead that just wants to go and brawl. I'm a technician. I love the martial art aspect of it. I love to study it. I love how the moves, are woven together. I love how it's like everyone says, like it's a chess game with human body parts, right? I don't know how to play chess, but that makes sense to me. So it's like, hey, there's these different skills that you can learn, and this counters this, and if you do this, the guy does that kind of thing. Like, so it's a dance. I like to look at it as a dance. I love dancing. Coming from Brazil, massive dance, country and music. So we love that. So I right away love that aspect of it. So I'm not a fighter, I'm not a brawler, but I can go that route if necessary. But anyway, so that's what I chose to do. I'm an athlete and a martial artist first, and I want to be healthy before I, commit to a fight. So that's what it was, man. It was just a little niggle that was in the way that we had to overcome. So I pursued professionals to help me in that route. We did the work throughout, since March, pretty much throughout that time, and we got strong. We tested the neck, the leg, and it didn't bother us anymore. And here we are, getting ready to do it again in less than 2 weeks.
Yeah, man. Well, you're returning at Eternal MMA 49. You're taking on one of the best featherweights out there, a former champion, Michael Tobin. You're not afraid to take on the best guys in the country. Is he a guy that you've been watching for a long time?
I've been aware of him. I wouldn't say I've been watching him. Um, I've been aware, like I know he's out there. He's in the division. When I first started, he was. I saw him in the locker room when I was doing amateur fights still, and I saw him in the locker room preparing for his fights, and there was this, I guess, people talking highly of him. He's a really good guy, blah blah. Yeah, I didn't really pay no mind, but no, I don't see him as this big figure that's like, wow, I do respect his abilities. I understand um, that, like I said, the martial art aspect of it, right? I know how we match up. I know his strengths and I know his weaknesses. And I know my strength and I know my weaknesses. So, and it's no like secret. Every guy I fight, I have superior striking to them. So pretty much everybody I fought, they've tried to take me down. It's gonna be no different with Michael Tobin. He's strong grappler, has won most of his fights, pretty much all of his fights by submission. So, and he said in interviews as well, he's gonna try to take me down, close that distance. It's no secret. So we prepared for that. Um, so I'm hoping to see the best Michael Tobin, the in his championship caliber that's gotten him championship level and has made him ranked number one to this day. I want that guy to show up because when I win, and it'd be all that much sweeter because I'm not even ranked top 10, I don't believe. So to take out the number one guy coming off a loss, it puts me right back where I was back in March. And that's what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to make a statement. And like I said, it's MMA. Anything can happen. But we're gonna go in there. We're gonna dance, and I'm gonna make him dance to my tune. And it's gonna be a short night for him. I really feel like he cannot keep up with his strategy as long as I can keep up with mine. So we'll see. We'll see who can play that chess game better, and may the best man win. But man, it's gonna be a good one. Trust me, it's gonna be a good one. It's on UFC Fight Pass. I've been out for a little bit. I'm very hungry. I'm excited to compete. I guess a very talented guy, and I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Yeah, the featherweight title is vacant right now. It seems like this fight they're setting up for a title challenger, a guy, a number one contender type slot. And it seems like
Yeah.
you guys are fighting for that unofficially. It's not like they're saying it is, but unofficially, I see it as that. I'm pretty sure Tobin is thinking the same thing. You know, are you ready to go in there and just spoil the party for him, man? Is that like in your mind? It's like, hey, I'm gonna put you to the back of the line.
It's already done. Like he was a champion back when guys weren't even that good around here. You know what I'm saying? He knows. Like we tried to make this fight between him and I a few years back, and I didn't even have that much experience, but we knew, like we were confident in our abilities. We could take him on back then. And the only reason why I say that we tried to make this fight is because we realize because there are, even though the rankings don't mean a whole lot, they're still rankings. They still represent something in the media's eyes. They still mean something to people when they're watching from the outside. So when they try to see who the best guys are, they look at the rankings. And if you ranked at number one, that means something. So Mike has always been at the top. So for me to go in there and challenge him and take him out, it's no disrespect. It's not saying, hey, I don't believe you're that good. Let's fight. I'll take you out. No, it's because I believe. It's because I know he's got the skills and abilities. Because I respect how far he's gotten. That I want to take him out. It's like I'm in this to continue to grow and develop as a martial artist and athlete, and to see how far I can take it. How far will my abilities take me? Like when you're in that fire and everything is happening and you're facing adversity, how can you turn around and then still win? So him being, ranked at the top, the tough dude has won other matches or whatever. Maybe he can push me. Maybe he can bring that out of me. We'll see. So that's the challenge that I'm pursuing, right? It's no disrespect to him or anything that he's achieved. It's that he's at the top and I'm climbing. I'm looking to take my career to the next level, and he's in my way. So I'm challenging him. Actually, he challenged me this time, but we tried to make it before. They didn't want it for some reason, but now it's happening. So I'm happy about that. So we're gonna go in there and put on the show.
Win or lose, after this fight, what are your plans for the rest of the year? Do you have more acting lined up, or do you have another fight coming up, or anything that you want to jump on?
Uh, I don't have another fight. I'm not going to fight right after because it's November. I'm fighting November, so I don't like to fight too soon like that. So I will take after the fight. After I win this fight, I'm gonna prepare to and stay ready to challenge whoever is next in that title line. Because after I win this, best believe I'm gonna call for that title shot and I'm gonna get it because there will be no doubts, you know. So that's my plan. I'll win this and then I'll take some time, and then whenever I decide is right, and then Cam lines up the dates, we'll fight for that title.
All right. Well, November 11th, Eternal MMA 49, Southport Sharks. Diego, thank you so much for the time, man. Good luck on the fight and the future, man.
Just one quick correction here. It's November 1st.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, November 1st. So it is Friday, November 1st at Southport Sharks Club on the Gold Coast. Live and exclusively on UFC Fight Pass. So make sure you check that out. If you can't make it, let there, be present. And man, it's going to be one to remember, people. Trust and believe. The Black Panther, El Pantera Negra, we out here, and we're going to perform. Thank you so much, Jay, and I appreciate your time, man.